and tailbone. And with the eyes closed, take a deep breath in, sitting up tall, lengthening through the whole of the back, and breathing out, releasing shoulders. Breathing in, lengthening up through the spine, and breathing out, releasing the shoulders. And again, in breath through the nostrils if you can, out breath through the mouth. Final time, breathing in, pulling the belly in, aware of the core, breathing out, releasing shoulders. And focusing on core today is the intention. Hands come to the belly area. Just feeling breath in the low belly. Noticing in breath and out breath. Rise and fall of belly. Intention on even breath throughout the practice. And focus on core and strength. Breathing in, reaching arms up. And breathing out, arms down. Breathing in, reaching up. And breathing out, arms down. Taking one hand across onto the opposite knee, fingertips behind, sitting up tall, breathe in, breathe out and twist, belly, chest, shoulder and head. Breathing in and out. In, sitting up tall, out, twisting. And breathing in back to center, opposite hand on opposite knee, sweeping the hand behind, breathing in, breathing out, belly, chest, shoulder, and head. Sitting up tall on the in-breath, releasing into the twist on the out-breath. And breathing in, back to center. Leaning to one side, keeping one hand on the knee, bending the elbow. Moving sideways, stretching out, side of the waist. Breathe in, lengthening up. Breathing out, leaning, feeling the stretch. Keeping both sit bones on the mat. Breathing into stretch through the waist, side of the belly. Using the belly muscles, breathing in to come up and leaning to the other side. Gently pressing the hand into the inner part of the knee. Breathing in, breathing out, releasing. Leaning to the side. Aware of stretch. And another round of breath. Releasing on the out breath as you lean. And using belly muscles to come back up to center, breathing out. Taking one leg slightly in front of the other, so the shins are closer. The ankles are uncrossed, sitting up tall. Breathing out, hinging from the top of the hip, keeping the belly muscles pulled in and leaning forward with a straight spine. So you feel some stretch through the buttock area and possibly the low back. Breathing in, keep lengthening through the chest. Breathing out, hinging forward. Aware of the belly, keeping it pulled in as you hinge forward. Using those muscles, breathing in, coming the whole way up. Coming forward onto the knees in a tabletop, untucking the toes, cat-cow, breathing in, chest forward, tailbone up, stretching the belly, breathing out, rounding the spine, pulling the belly in. In breath, chest forward, tailbone up, out breath, rounding the upper back, pulling the belly in. Last time, in breath, chest forward, tailbone up, breathing out, belly pulled in, pressing hands into the mat. Then breathing in, back to a neutral spine. Taking the right leg out, pressing the heel back. Bringing the left leg out in a plank to begin some core work. Option to lower the knees, keeping the shoulders shifting forward in line with the wrists. The belly muscles are doing some work, so picking your option for 2 more rounds of breath. A round of breath is an inhalation and an exhalation. 1 more round of breath, pressing the heels away, chest forward, lowering the knees, keeping the toes tucked under, sitting back. Relaxing the belly, evening out the breath. And in breath, back up to tabletop, untuck the toes, breathing in, chest forward, breathing out, rounding as an option, or breathing in, raise the knees an inch, using the belly muscles, breathing out, lower, keeping the knees in line with the hips, breathing in and out. In as they lift, out as they lower. In, staying up is an option, breathing out, 2 more rounds of breath. In, out. 1 more, in, out, lowering the knees down, tucking toes under, reaching arms forward, releasing the belly, softening the shoulders, keeping the ears in line with the upper arms. Breathing in, come forward, breathing out, downward facing dog, bending the knees, relaxing the head. Gaze between the feet, hip distance apart, raising the glutes up and back towards the heels. Stretching out the whole spine. And breathing in, draw the knee into the chest, wakening up the core muscles, breathing out. And another round of breath, drawing the knee into the chest, taking the leg away, coming back into downward facing dog. And in breath, other knee into the chest, breathing in and out.
in and out, and then back into a dog, stretching back, evening out the breath. Looking between the hands, starting to walk the feet forward, keeping a bend in the knees. Place the hands on the legs, breathe in, and on the out breath, fold forward into a forward bend, keeping the weight in the toes. Breathe in, draw the chest down, breathe out, fold, crown of head, releasing towards the mat, keeping the shoulders a bit away from the ears. Feeling a stretch in the back of the legs, keeping the low belly pulled in and up. Breathing evenly. And breathing in, bending the knees, coming up halfway. Up, breathing out. Sun salutation to warm up the body and generate heat and connect movement and breath. Breathing in, breathe out, fold. Breathe in, left leg back, breathe out. Breathe in, look up. Breathe out, forward, in to plank. Out to lower the knees, in breath, through into a low cobra, breathing out. Breathe in, tuck the toes, out breath, dog. Stretch back. Breathing in, look forward, left foot back forward, breathe out. In breath, look up, out breath, forward. In breath, right leg alongside, breathe out. Breathing in to come up and breathing out. Side two, in, out to fold, in, right leg back, breathe out. In breath, looking up, out breath, forward, in breath to plank, out breath, knees down, in breath, chest through, breathe out. In breath, tuck toes under, out breath to dog, stretching back. Looking between the hands, big breath, right foot forward, breathe out. In breath, looking up, out breath, folding forward. In breath, left leg alongside, breathing out. Breathing in, squeezing the glutes, lifting the chest, breathing out. One more round, in, out to fold, in left leg back, breathing out. In breath, looking up, out breath forward, in breath, plank. Out breath, knees down, in breath, through, into cobra, breathing out. In breath, tuck toes, out breath, dog, stretch back. In breath, left foot forward, breathing out. In breath, look up, out breath forward. In breath, right leg alongside, breathing out. In breath, rising up and breathing out. Final side, in breath, out breath to fold. In breath, right leg back, breathing out. In breath, looking up, out breath forward. In breath, plank. Out breath, lower the knees. In breath, chest through, low cobra, breathe out. In breath, tucking toes. Out breath, dog. In breath, looking ahead, right foot forward, breathe out. In breath, looking up. Out breath forward. In breath, left leg alongside, breathing out. Breathing in, rising up. And breathing out, hands in prayer position, into Tadasana, mountain pose. Taking 2 rounds of breath, breathing in, lengthening through the spine, and breathing out, relaxing the shoulders down and back. 1 more round of breath, breathing in and breathing out. Keeping the hands on the hips, facing forward at the front of your mat. Pick up the right leg. A bit of balance. Breathing in and out. Keeping the chest lifted, shoulders back. And then lean forward, take the leg behind you. Breathe in, coming up into Warrior Two. Breathing out, sinking into it through the hips. Breathe in and out. Relax the shoulders. Looking out over the middle finger. Keeping the chest lifted on an in-breath. Breathing out. And then breathe in, straighten the front leg. Breathing out, reach sideways for triangle. Letting the hand rest where it's comfortable. And the arm overhead. Or keep the hand on the hip. Turn the chest up to the ceiling. Breathing in. Breathing out. Lengthening tailbone to crown of head in extension. Dropping the lower side of the waist a bit. Pressing through the feet. Breathing in. Breathing out into Trikonasana or triangle. Then taking an option to take the arm out for a little bit of core work. Working on that intention. Breathing in and out. Placing the hand on the hip. Breathe in, come up. Breathe out, release. And sideways. Stretch across. Keeping the arm up or hand on the hip. Drop down through the hips. Breathing in, come up a couple of inches. Take the arm out in front. So working the core a little bit more. Arm up for extra work. Or keep hand on hip. Breathing. Turning the chest towards the ceiling. Using the core muscles. Breathing in and out. Taking 1 more round of breath if you can. Hands on the hips. Breathe in to come up. Turn the foot as you breathe out. Forward bend. In breath, hinge from the hips. Out breath, fold forward. Breathing in, lengthening the chest. Down. Breathing out, fold. Releasing crown of head towards the mat. In breath, walking the hands down the legs. Out breath, chest releasing further down. Keeping the weight in the toes. Lifting inner arches of feet. Keeping the low belly pulled in. Then breathing in, bending the knees gently, coming the whole way up. Walk the feet together, heel toe, picking up the left leg. So picking up the left leg. For balance, use the wall if necessary. Keeping hands on hips. Using the wall if you wish. And then gently stepping the leg back into a warrior two, sinking into it. Front heel lining up with arch of back foot. Relax through the shoulders. Breathe in, lift the chest. Breathe out, sink into it. And breathing in, straightening the leg, leaning out, hand on the hip for triangle, taking the hand down to where it's comfortable that you feel the stretch. Option to float the arm up, pressing through the front foot, or keeping hand on the hip. Turning chest to ceiling. Option to pick up the arm. So we're working the core, keeping the hand on the hip, or you can take the hand up, breathing in and out, picking your option. Or keeping hand on hip, or both hands on hips. One more round of breath. And then breathing in, using the belly muscles, come up, breathing out. In breath, lean side angle. Out breath, arm up and across, sinking the hips down. Turning the chest. And an option to bring the hand to the hip, come up a couple of inches, take the other arm out, so we're working the core, coming back to that intention. Arm can come up as additional work, or keep hand down, turning, breathing in and out, taking another round of breath, and breathing in and out, breathing in, coming the whole way up, turning the foot in breath, out breath, folding. Hands resting somewhere on the legs. In breath, chest moving forward, out breath, folding. Keeping the shoulders relaxed. Weight still in the toes. Focusing on the breath, keeping the low belly pulled in. And gently breathing in, use the belly muscles coming up the whole way. Walk the feet together, heel toe. Coming to the wall, picking up the right leg, taking the foot behind you, just stretch out the front of the thigh and the hip flexor. Squeeze the glutes, keep the belly pulled in, breathing out. Balance if you wish, taking the hand away from the wall, feeling the stretch by squeezing the glutes, keeping the knees lined up. And gently bending the left leg, crossing the right ankle over on top and squatting back so you get some stretch through that right glute. Keeping the hand on the wall, allowing you to sit back and feel the stretch. More stretch, you can bring the hands down. Taking an option as you wish. Or keep the hands up, sitting back. Lining up the right knee and ankle. Breathing in and out. And coming up, undoing, straightening, turning the other way. Picking up the other leg. Taking it behind you to stretch out the thigh. hand on the wall. Breathing in, keeping chest lifted. Breathing out, releasing shoulders. Pressing the foot into the hand and the hand into the foot. Checking you're lining up the thighs for the stretch as much as you comfortably can. Checking for difference between left and right. Then breathing in, bending the standing leg, crossing the left leg over at the knee and the ankle on top of the right knee. Sitting back. Sitting back till you feel a stretch through the glute area on the left side. Squatting into it, breathing in and out, keeping the hand on the wall so you can focus on the stretch. More stretch means you can take the hands down and sit into it a little bit more, or keep the hand on the wall. Using the out breath to relax into it, in breath keeping chest lifted. And then breathing in, coming up the whole way, shaking the legs out, and coming to the front of the mat. Legs a little bit further than hip distance, a bend in the knees, holding each elbow, head down, ragdoll. So allow the whole body to relax, turning the head side to side, nodding it yes and no, swaying through the waist, releasing, hands to the mat if you wish, keeping the bend in the knees. There is stretch and opening through the low back. A ragdoll. And then breathing in, bring the hands to the hips, coming up, pressing through the feet, breathing out. And in breath, lengthening up, out breath, squatting down, taking the knees out to the sides. So lifting up the heels, interlocking the fingers gently, keeping the chest lifted, relaxing through the shoulders. Or taking an option to come into Malasana. So feet continue to turn out, and the knees and the hands come together, keeping the chest lifted. Releasing through the hips. Relaxing the shoulders. Taking your option of squat or Malasana. And then breathing in, come forward with the hands and step back into dog, stretching back. And bend one knee, then the other. Ease out the hips, one at a time. Stretching back. And then breathing in, draw the right knee into the chest. So working a little bit more on core strength. Breathing in and out. Holding the knee into the chest as much as you comfortably can. Rounding the back, upper back. Breathing in and out. Pulling the belly in. And release back into dog. Stretching back. We'll come onto all fours in tabletop. And coming back into dog, breathe in, bring the left knee into the chest, rounding the back, breathing in and out. Drawing knee into chest. And then releasing on an out breath, back to dog, stretching back. Breathe in, come forward into plank, keeping the knees up or down. The knees are down, shifting the shoulders forward so they're in line with the wrists. So more core work, tucking the tailbone on under, and then gently coming down into Sphinx. Elbows underneath shoulders, breathing in, chest lifted, breathing out, release the shoulders. Stretching out the front of the belly, reaching the legs away. Soles of feet facing the ceiling. Breathing in, pressing forearms down, lifting the chest. Breathing out, releasing shoulders. Evening out the breath, aware of stretch in front of belly, where the core muscles have been working. An option to deepen the upper back bend, placing hands by the side ribs, breathing in, lifting up, upward facing dog. Thighs and knees and shins off the mat, breathing in and out, or staying with your Sphinx. One more round of breath, and then releasing, back to Sphinx. Chest lifting on an in-breath, releasing shoulder blades down to the waist on an out-breath. Taking left arm parallel to the front of the mat, the right hand on the mat. Pick up, bending the right knee. Take the leg with the hand and come back. Have a stretch, a half frog. The hip flexor and the thigh. Option to lie on the left side and stretch back. Pressing the glutes forward and the foot into the hand. And releasing back. And switching. So the other forearm coming parallel to the front of the mat, the right forearm, bending left knee, turning, twisting through the waist to hold the foot, coming back to a half frog, Savasana. Or rolling onto that right hip, holding the foot, squeezing the glutes, pressing foot into hand, keeping the space between the elbow and the shoulder on the right side, if you're on your side. Keeping the upper back bend, if you're on the belly. Breathing into the stretch. And then releasing, coming back to Sphinx, keeping chest lifted as you breathe in. As you breathe out, releasing the shoulders. In breath, coming up to Locust pose, Savasana, working the back muscles, lifting the legs, looking down the front of the mat. Breathing in and out. Taking another round of breath. In and out. Coming back to Sphinx, ensuring elbows are lined up underneath the shoulders. Tucking the chin in. Releasing through the hips, softening the upper back. An option to take Savasana again. We'll come into bow pose, holding each foot or ankle and lifting. Breathing in as you lift, breathing out as you hold. Breathing in as you lift, breathing out as you hold. One more round of breath, and then release, hands down. Coming back into child's pose, so big toes touching, space between the thighs with the belly, folding forward. Rounding through the spine. If it's not comfortable, coming up onto the forearms, gently interlocking fingers and allowing the head to hang. Picking your option, breathing into the low back. In your Savasana, or if you're on your forearms, and then breathing in, lifting the chest, coming back onto the knees, coming forward into plank and side plank options, working the core. Plank or turning to the right in a full plank, lifting up through the hips and the waist, or side plank. The right foot is forward, turning onto the left side of the foot, breathing in a reach. If you wish for a stretch, you can take the arm overhead, working through the core, lifting up the hips as much as possible, breathing in and out. Squeezing and lifting, and then gently coming back into a plank. Gazing at the front of the mat, then lowering the knees, toes tucked under, stretching back. Taking 2 more rounds of breath, evening out the breath. One more, and breathing in, coming up, breathing out. Taking in breath, just reach up, breathing out. And again, up and out. Final time, palms up, reaching and out. Then coming forward to your plank options. Plank, side plank. So turning to the other side, stacking the wrist underneath the shoulder, squeezing and lifting up through the hips. Or taking the foot forward, left foot forward, lifting up, an arm up, reaching across, staying here, breathing in, lifting, breathing out, holding. Last round, and then coming back into plank, holding your plank, breathing in and out, keeping the chest lifted, toes tucked under. And then lower the knees, sitting back, lengthening through the whole spine. Breathing in, coming forward, walking the knees forward, sitting back on the heels. Breathe in, reach up, breathe out, release. And again, breathing in and breathing out. Last time, in breath, and then elbows back, opening the chest. Coming forward, so the feet are in front, into a reverse table, fingertips face in, breathing in and out, opening the shoulders. And again, breathing in, press down through the glutes, breathing out, shoulder blades back. Taking the option to come into a reverse table, squeezing the glutes, breathing in and out. In breath, out breath, in breath, out breath. And then gently releasing all the way down, straightening the legs out in front, sitting up tall in Dandasana, breathing in, breathing out, hinging forward from the top of the thigh, resting the legs and the hands on top of the legs. A little bend in the knees if necessary. Breathe in, chest forward. Breathe out, fold. Keeping the shoulders away from the ears. Holding feet gently if it's comfortable. Gaze at the knees or the shins. Breathing in, chest forward. Breathing out, lengthening. Releasing out the low back. In your forward bend, breathing in, leading with the chest, breathing out, relaxing into that stretch. And breathe in, reach the arms in front, still aware of the core and your intention, coming up, breathing out, arms down. So bending up the knees, coming into a boat pose, lifting up the legs, sitting back, the tailbone, keeping the chest lifted. Taking the arms out, if you wish, in your boat pose, using the core muscles, breathing in and out, relaxing the shoulders. In, lifting up the chest and out. Again, you can keep the hands underneath the thighs or take them out. In breath, lifting, out breath, holding. And then gently release, round the back forward. Breathe in and out. In and out. Keep the feet in front. Take an in-breath. Breathe out and lean back till you feel some engagement in the core. Keeping the hands resting lightly on the legs. Breathing in, come up an inch. Breathing out, lean and hold. Breathe in, up. Breathe out, back. In and out. In, coming up an inch. Out, leaning back, working the core. In, out. In, out. In, out. In, out. One more, in, out. And then lie down, draw the knees into the chest, head down, and rock side to side. Releasing the belly muscles, easing out the back. And keep the right knee hugging into the chest and extend the left leg out just a couple of inches above the floor, pressing through the heel. Breathing in, pick up the head and shoulders, breathing out. Final core work, interlocking fingers behind the head. Breathing in, twist, breathing out, twist. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, keeping head and shoulders off the mat. Out, in, out, in breath, straighten the leg, out breath, in, out, in, out, 2 more, in, out, and then head down, knees into the chest, and again, rocking side to side, releasing the belly muscles. And gently place the feet on the floor so that at the edges of the mat, the knees are wide apart. Palms face up, breathe in, and on the out breath, allow the legs to roll to the left side. Breathing in, out breath, knees come up and out to the other side. In, as knees up, rolling across the feet, keeping that distance, breathing out, releasing, slowing it down. In breath, out, other side. In breath, knees come up, out breath, to the side. In, out, easing the low back, into center, out, knees to the left, leaving them there relaxing. Being aware of the left foot and the left heel, and if it's comfortable, placing that left heel on top of the right knee to increase the stretch. To the right side, the inner part of the hip, through the psoas muscles. And relax the knees and the legs in this posture, this asana. Breathing into the stretch. And gently undoing that left foot, breathing in as the knees come back up, breathing out as the knees roll to the other side, to the right. Placing the right heel on top of the left knee. So there is a stretch through the left inner part of the hip. Relaxing out the belly after the strength and core work. Stretching. Quietening body down. Releasing into the passive stretch. As comfortably as you can. And gently undoing, placing the feet on the floor, drawing both knees into the chest and apart, rocking side to side. And then some gentle breath work, so breathing in through the nostrils if you can, with the head down, breathing out between the knees as the head comes up. Breathing in, head down, breathing out, breathing in, head down, breathing out, head up, breathing in, head
head down. Keeping the head down on the mat, breathe out. Coming into the relaxation phase of the practice, lengthening the whole body out on the mat, lying down. In Savasana, your resting, relaxing, final posture to allow you to absorb and receive the benefits of the practice. Releasing through the feet and ankles, the knees and the hips, and shoulders and elbows, and wrists and fingers. Softening through the neck, and resting peacefully for the next few moments. As the body's resting, perhaps placing both hands on the low belly, keeping the elbows on the mat, connecting to the breath, aware of rise and fall of the belly. Connecting to that core area of strength. Being aware of calmness in the body as it's breathing. And connecting back to the breath. Breathing in, reaching arms overhead, stretching out whole body. And breathing out, bringing arms back down to the sides. Bending up the knees and rolling carefully to the right side. Resting for a moment or two. Aware of quietness you've created in the practice and calmness and the strength work today. Slowly coming back up to a comfortable seated asana posture, crossing legs, placing one palm on top of the other, thumbs touching and resting in the lap. Closing the eyes, bowing the chin. It's a sign of respect and reverence for your practice and your well-being. Meditating for a moment or two, allowing the body and yourself to be. Just noticing body breathing. And then taking a deep breath in through the nostrils, lengthening up through the whole of the spine, and breathing out through the mouth. Just relax the shoulders. Once more, breathing in deeply and breathing out. Very gently opening the eyes. Thank you for taking part in this practice. Namaste.